Vanakkam. Greetings to all Indian Forest Service aspirants. Once again, a warm and hearty welcome to all of you to my YouTube channel, Sylva, a ladder to reach canopy. After seeing the overview of forestry syllabus in the previous session, today we are going to see the important subject, that is the first and foremost subject in the forestry paper, that is silviculture. Silviculture is the backbone of forestry, and for agronomy, how much it is significant to the agriculture, for forestry it is silviculture. So, in simple terms, silviculture is the art and science of cultivating forest crops. In this session, we are going to see the important contents of silviculture available in the forestry syllabus. We will see one by one. In the Silviculture-General, we will start with the general silvicultural principles. So in simple terms, silviculture is the art and science of cultivating forest crops. In broader sense, it is also defined as the branch of forestry which deals with establishment, development, care and reproduction of timber. So for a forester, the ultimate objective is to produce the timber. So to reach the timber, the forester has to adopt the different kind of processes starting from establishment, development, care and reproduction. The complete processes is known as silviculture in forestry. And we will be also studying about the various objectives of silviculture. The different objectives of silviculture are the production of maximum size of timber, quality timber, and also to introduce any new species to the area, and also to reforest a new or any blank area. So there are more objectives also available here. We will see in the main session. And we will also study about the silvics. That is another new terminology I am going to introduce here. This is the general principle or study of general characteristics of forest crop with reference to environment factors. The applied aspect of silvics is known as silviculture. So we will be studying about the fundamental relation between the silvics and silviculture. And the silviculture will be dealing the two fundamental aspects. One is about the natural forest, how the reforestation is taking place, and with the help of natural regeneration and artificial regeneration. We will be studying in detail about both the regeneration process in the upcoming session, and also about the afforestation area, because a new area or the blank area taken place, that is known as afforestation. There is a difference between afforestation and reforestation, how they are differing with each other. All details will be studied in the main session. And the next important aspect is about the ecological and physiological factors influencing vegetation. The existing vegetation in any given area is not a simple outcome. There are various factors actually contributing to the development of any kind of vegetation in a given forest area. In this subject, we will be studying about the four important factors, starting from the climatic factors, edaphic factors, topographic factors and the biotic factors. How these factors are playing a very important and critical role in the development of various vegetation in the particular forest, we will be studying in detail. To start with the climatic factor, the various parameters available in climate are temperature, moisture, wind, light and etc. And in the edaphic factor, we will be studying about the physical, chemical and different properties of soil, and also about the soil depth, pH and carbon-nitrogen ratio. How these factors are influencing the various kind of vegetation formation in the forest area will be studied in detail. And also about the topographic factor, the configuration of the land, the altitude, slope and aspect, how they are influencing the vegetation pattern, that also will be studied in detail. And finally about the biotic factor, how the plants, insects and wild animals, human, cattle are able to influence the vegetation pattern of the given area will be also studied here. So in this content, we will be studying four important factors along with the relevant information. And next important factor in this subject is the natural regeneration of forests. When we are talking about the silviculture, after the harvesting, the next important process is the development of new plants, which is technically called as regeneration. There are two types of regeneration actually practiced or followed or available in the forestry. One is the natural regeneration, in which the plants formed due to the natural process by seeds, copies or root suckers. And there are various factors influencing the seed or copies or root sucker formation in the given forest area. We will be studying about the seeds and its various mechanisms and what are the different processes through which the seeds are actually transformed into plants. So the seed production, that is how the seeds are produced by various trees and what are the different factors influencing the seed production, and about the dispersal, how the seeds in the trees are dispersed by animals, wind or water or any other agencies will be studied along with the good examples. And also about the germination, how the plants are formed due to the germination of seeds. What are the different factors influencing the germination pattern of seeds. And finally about the establishment. No longer the plants record any kind of protection, that process is known as your establishment. So production, dispersal, germination and establishment, these are the different processes available in the seed which actually decide the success of natural regeneration. So we will be studying in the natural regeneration of forests like seeds, copies and through root suckers. In the seed production, seed dispersal, seed germination and seed establishment. Next important content in this subject is the artificial regeneration of forests. As mentioned by me earlier, the two important processes through which the regeneration happening, one is a natural, for that the previous slide very clearly mentioned seed, root suckers and the copies. In the artificial regeneration, it is planted or introduced. So this process is known as your artificial regeneration. So there are various objectives decided or prefixed in the artificial regeneration process, and it is also determined by various important factors. The choice of species is very, very important because it is not a simple task to introduce any plant to any area. So the choice of species which suits to the any locality is very, very crucial in determining the success of artificial regeneration. And the site selection, the ecological, physiological factors which are the main source for the outcome of any vegetation formation, because all these are available in the particular site. So site selection is very, very important in determining the success of any artificial regeneration. And the choice of method, again sowing and planting, these are the two common methods available in the afforestation or the artificial regeneration program. And the spacing, the distance between various plants, that also decides the success of the growth of plants. So the closer spacing means there may be a possibility of death of a single plant or more plants in the given area. So deciding the space is also very, very crucial, which will ultimately decide the success of the planting program. And finally the management of labor or staff, they are also very, very important in deciding the success, because the planting program is quite time bound. So the deployment of major laborers in the particular area will also very, very significant in deciding the growth of the plant. The delayed planting make the artificial regeneration process failure one. So these 5 factors are very, very important in deciding the success of any artificial regeneration in the forest area. The next important title here is about the methods of propagation. There are 2 different types of propagation methods are available or followed in practical. One is about the sexual, that is through the seed sowing, and second important aspect is about the asexual, which is through the vegetative propagation method. In asexual, there are 5 different methods we will be studying in detail, starting from the cuttings, layering, grafting, budding and micro propagation. These are the different asexual propagation methods generally practiced in the forestry. And in the asexual propagation method, we will be studying in detail about the grafting technique. Grafting is one of the most successful method available in the horticulture program, and it is also sometimes used in the forestry program. The grafting is nothing but the union of rootstock and scion. So there are two plants are united to form a single plant, that is known as the grafting technique. There are different further approaches or the various further methods are available in grafting, which is also extensively used in the forestry program. The different types of approach grafting, side grafting, whip grafting and cleft grafting. We will be studying about the diagram and how it is very important in any planting program or in the nursery program. And the next important subject is site factors. That is also the combination of ecological and physiological or various other factors, because site factor is very crucial in deciding the success of any afforestation program. And the species selection is mostly depend on the available site factors. So we will be studying about the role of site factors in determining the afforestation program, and also it's relevant to the species selection, because the proper selection of site will help in avoiding any kind of failure. And there are various kind of soil testing mechanisms available and other interventions through which one can avoid any failures in afforestation program. And next important aspect is about the nursery. So nursery is again the backbone of forestry, and most of the afforestation programs are successful only possible through the well established and successful nursery. So we will be studying in complete details of the nursery and its various objectives and the different classification, the area required for the nursery, layout, seed sowing, and also about the high-tech nursery. Nursery is a place where the plants are formed before it's moving to the forest area. So the success of all the afforestation program is possible only with the successful or the well-established nursery. And what are the different objectives in nursery, we will also study here. And there are various classification of nurseries available based on the water availability, that is the wet and dry, and also about the location, permanent and temporary. Sometimes nurseries are established in the plantation area where it is temporarily established and maintained, and later once the program is over, that will be abandoned. So that are the classification of nursery available in the forestry program. And also about the layout and what are the different kind of seeds and treatments available in the nursery program will be studied in detail. And nowadays the high-tech nursery is quite prevalent in many of the forest departments. So we will be studying about the various components of high-tech nursery in success and its cost. So these are the important aspects we will be studying in the nursery. And about the planting techniques. So there are various planting techniques are available in the forestry program. One with the entire planting and another one is about the stump planting. In entire planting, there are further divided into two different types. One is about the naked roots, means the plant planted with the naked root, and one covered with the soil. These are the two important types available in the entire planting. And the second important planting method is about the stump planting, the root and shoot cutting, which is commonly known as, and it is very successful in the important species or the timber species like teak. And we will be studying in detail about the suitability of these planting methods to the different type of situations, and also about the species suitable for this kind of planting. So this is about the planting technique. And next important component that is part of the nursery program is about the polybags in maintenance. The polybags are the very important containers available in the nursery, which is extensively used in the present day. In the past, the containers made of leaf and other organic components were used, but nowadays, due to the success and simplicity of polybag, these are very much extensively used in the forestry program. So we will be studying about the requirement of plant containers in the afforestation program through the nursery, and also about the different types of containers presently used, and what are the maintenance required in the polybag, starting from the stacking, means grouping of nursery or the polybag, and about the watering, the very important step in the success of plants available in nursery, and the weeding to removal of weeds in the existing plants in the nursery, and also about the shifting. Shifting is the movement of polybag from one place to another place in the nursery to avoid any congestion inside the polybag. So these are the various maintenance taking place in the nursery. And the next important aspect is about the nursery beds. So nursery beds are the basically a germination bed or the mother bed. Before it is actually planted to the polybag, the seeds are sown in the mother bed, mainly made up of sand or the different combination of sand, soil and farmyard manure. So this is the important step used in the nursery, and we will be studying about the various requirement of beds, why the beds are very significant in the nursery, and also about the germination bed of the mother bed. These are the two important beds available in the nursery, and the standard bed sizes also we will be studying about in the nursery, and how it is very crucial in the success of any nursery program. And the next important aspect in the nursery is about the water budgeting. So it is a very important and significant water management tool extensively followed in the forest nursery, and basically it gives the estimation of the amount of water required in the nursery area. So, and it is basically calculated based on the calculation of monthly or weekly or annual irrigation happened in the nursery area. This is a very important tool helping in determining the water requirement of the plants in the nursery area. And another important aspect after the water budget is about the grading and hardening of seedling, because this is a very important and significant step taken place in the nursery area before the plants are actually moved to the forest area. And these are basically done before the planting to the new site. The grading is the segregation of plants into a different categories through which we can eliminate the dead or the dying or the damaged plants from the nursery. So will help you in eliminating the damaged plants so that you can avoid these plants reaching to the forest area. So finally our objective is to create the healthy plants or to plant healthy plants in the forest area. So by adopting the grading mechanism, one can eliminate the unhealthy plants reaching to the forest area. So this is a very important step followed in the forest nursery before the plants are actually moved to the forest area. And the hardening, the very important process about hardening of plants before the plants actually reach to the forest area. The withdrawal of some special requirements like watering and other shade components, so that the plant will be able to adapt well in the future when it is reached to the forest area. So it is also easily or very commonly called as a precursor for acclimatization. So it will avoid shock to the plants. When the plants are actually reaching to the forest area, they will able to cope up well to the new environment which is introduced. So this is about the grading and hardening. And about the special approaches. Unlike the conventional silviculture principles, he will be studying about the 4 important aspects of as a special approaches, from partial harvesting instead of the complete harvesting. We'll be studying about the partial harvesting, and about the natural regeneration. Instead of following any artificial regeneration, there is a special approach to completely rely on the natural regeneration. And also about the emphasis on diversity. Instead of the monocrops, we will be also studying about how the forestry programs are giving importance to the diversity of various plants. And also about the avoidance of intensive operations like weeding, thinning and all these things. These are the 4 special approaches we will be studying in detail. So establishment is a very important stage in the plant or any tree growth, and which can be said that the plant is devoid of any adverse condition. So the plant has reached to a particular condition which is free from many adverse factors. That stage of the plant is known as establishment, and these are simply influenced by various factors, from soil factor, climatic factor, weeds, browsing, burning. So these are the various factors determining the establishment stage. And next important aspect after the establishment is about the tending. Tending is a very important operation carried out in the forest area at various stages, and which is aimed to improve the desirable plants. So the unwanted plants or the trees of not desirable will be eliminated to this tending process. There are various types of interventions happening that is part of the tending, which is weeding, cleaning and thinning. So these operations will be time to time carried out in the forest area to improve the existing or the target species in the forest area. So these process or the operations are commonly called as tending. So that's all about the significant and important points or the important contents Silviculture-General subject. And dear aspirants, I try to cover the salient features of the syllabus of Silviculture-General, and one by one contents will be covered in the upcoming session. And if you have any doubts or queries, kindly let me know in the comment section below. For more updation, please subscribe the channel, and best wishes to all of you. Meet you with the next session, the subject Silviculture system, and best wishes to all of you. Thank you very much. Nandi Vanakkam. Sylva, a ladder to reach canopy.